All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Brainy Marketing. Today, I'm going to do it. I'm going to reveal all of the methodology behind cold email marketing that has been so successful for me and for my clients. I'm going to tell you the 3 steps that you need to build your own cold email marketing system that's going to cost you a fraction of any other lead generation method that you've been proposed before, because you are going to own the means to production. If you follow what I'm saying here, it's the first time you'll find any marketing agency just laying it out there on the cards. I'm going to show you exactly how you can build your own cold email marketing system. Now, just to be clear, it might not be for everybody. Some people don't have the time or they don't want to get into the technical details to build their own system. If that's the case, there's plenty of agencies you can contact. You can contact me and I can run it for you. If you want to build your own cold email marketing system to reliably reach out to thousands of prospects every single month, then this is the blueprint you need to follow. And I'm going to try and race through this in less than 15 minutes. So if I can do that, I think I deserve some sort of reward. I definitely deserve a subscribe and a like from you guys if I'm able to do that. So strap in, we're going to cover this, and hopefully it's going to help your business a big time. So first, let's just clear up. Does cold email marketing work? And so you need to be on board with that if you're going to invest the time in this video. Short answer, yes, it does work. Whatever your preconceived notions are of cold email marketing, I guarantee you it works, okay? I've built my entire agency, which currently is about 30 people in 2 countries, using predominantly cold email marketing. They're fantastic leads. If you get through to the right person at the right time, it's a conversation waiting to happen. With cold email marketing, you're playing a numbers game. If you send out 1,000 emails, you might be looking for, let's say, 3 or 4 strong leads out of that. Maybe you're looking for like 5, 6, 7 if you do it properly, but if you can get to 3 or 4, that's generally good for most B2B companies. So you want to send out thousands of emails a month and you get a certain number of leads back. So if you've got a big audience, obviously you have more to play with. If you have a smaller audience, you may need to focus on a different marketing channel, or this is not going to be the game changer that it can be for more general B2B companies. Now, it works across industries, but particularly well for professional services, technology, anything it's obviously only B2B. You cannot do cold email marketing B2C. And so anything that's kind of new, cutting edge, or a common professional service or business service or product, then you're going to have fantastic form when you're using cold email marketing. Okay, so with that being said, let's go into the 3 components you need to build this kick-ass cold email marketing system. The first is you're going to need a list of emails. In order to email, you're going to need to know the people, and you want to make sure that they are exactly the people that you want as customers, and nobody in there is sort of off target, because it's going to piss them off when they see cold emails from you. And also, it's no point in you cold emailing them because they were never going to buy in the first place. So how do you get a list of email addresses and names and what have you of your ideal customers? Well, the best way to do this is by using LinkedIn. There's a paid version of LinkedIn called LinkedIn Sales Navigator or LinkedIn Recruiter Lite. You might already know about it. Head over to there, sign up. You get a 1 month free if you've never done it before, but it's like £65 a month if you want to do it continuously, or you can pay for the whole year and it's a bit less. It gives you access to everybody who's on LinkedIn. So whatever your targeting is, you need to really think about the job title, the company size, the industry, the seniority of the people you want to talk to. All of these things. Sales Navigator gives you a much more exhaustive list than the normal LinkedIn search of every single metric to do with a person. Things like, how long has it been since they've been in university, how senior are they in their role, what keywords, what groups are they part of. You can really, really dial this in. And once you've got that search result on LinkedIn, you need to scrape LinkedIn and pull the information out of LinkedIn into an Excel spreadsheet. So there's lots of tools. You're going to have to go and research for yourself. I'm not going to reveal all the tricks here, but you can go and research a scraper. You're going to scrape the whole of that LinkedIn search. Now, once you've got that LinkedIn search out into Excel, you're not going to have the email address. What you're going to have is the name, the last name, and potentially the company name and the company domain name as well. You can put that information into other software that is going to help you guess their email address. Now, just to be clear, the way that you've generated these emails is actually compliant in that you've taken publicly available information name, company domain name, so that's their website address, and you've taken that and you've guessed their email address based on that. Now, what I'm saying is you're going to use software to help you guess that email address much quicker. So that's the kind of sneaky bit out of the way. The alternative is that you can buy a list from a list broker, an email list broker. This is going to be very, very expensive. Technically, the people are supposed to have opted in to third parties contacting them, i.e. you, but most of the time, this is not tracked reliably. A lot of list brokers are overcharging for things, and to be honest, the way they generated their list in the first place was by scraping publicly available information. So you're basically just cutting out a step. They're doing the scraping at a mass scale and then reselling you a sort of watered down version that's probably not even as up to date to you for even more money. So if you want to do it yourself, scrape email yourself, get those lists, get the information, the publicly available information into a list in Excel, then upload that list into an email finder. You put in these Excel values and it comes out with email addresses. And the way it does that is it basically tries to guess every combination of their first and last name and domain name. So it would try larry.koch@thebrains, it would try larrykoch@thebrains, it would try l.koch@thebrains, etc., etc., etc. And when it will ping each of these email addresses, and when it gets the right one back, it's going to spit that out and say this is the person's email address. Now, an extra layer you can do on top of this is add all of these new emails that have been generated and put them through email verification. And this is just going to be other software that's going to make sure that all these emails are properly verified. Now, if you do this, it's got a lot of benefits, but also you want to also put in your disclaimer of your emails that you've done this through looking at publicly available information. That way you're protected from the verification, which means you're not going to get many spam emails, and you're also protected from telling people in your disclaimer that you have guessed their email or you've found their email in publicly available way. So you can, if you want to say that, then you're protected in both ways. Now, once we've got this email list and we've got our protections kind of sorted out, let's think about the software that we want to use to send these emails. So the best software needs to be built on top of Gmail or Outlook, but I recommend Gmail. So whatever your domain name is that you're going to send your emails from, do not use your company domain name. So if my company domain name is thebrainsmarketing.co.uk, I will use thebrains.io to send my emails out of. I will not use my principal domain name. And the reason for that is just safety. On the off chance that I get marked as spam, touch wood, it's not happened yet, but if on the off chance that it does, I want to make sure that my principal web domain that I'm trying to rank on SEO and stuff is not going to be affected by what I'm doing on my cold approach. So once you've got that set up, that second domain, create an email address on Gmail using that domain. It takes 3 minutes to do. If you're scared about Gmail, I mean, it's Google. They've made everything as simple as possible. A monkey could work it out. So you just go in there and you create a normal email address as usual. What you're then going to do is tie that to software that is then going to automate the sending of messages from your new Gmail address. Now, the best software is something called single thread email marketing software. What this means is it will send the second and third and fourth follow-up email in the same thread of emails. So if you've obviously been writing emails to people in the past. When you get a response, it comes into the same thread, and when you respond back, it's in the same thread. So the same original email can have multiple emails going back and forth. The trouble with a lot of email marketing software that's not specialized in cold approach is it sends an email, one at a time. So it will send one newsletter, then next month there's a new newsletter. This reeks of sort of cold email marketing. With single thread infrastructure, you can actually get the person to believe you're a real person, because it's very rare that you find software that will get you into this kind of follow up in the same message. So look for single thread email marketing software. On your domain name, you're going to want to sort out things like the SPF record, the MX record, and you're also going to want to buy an SSL certificate for that new cold email marketing domain. So go ahead and do all those things to make sure you're going to get the most out of deliverability. And make sure that your software is doing random messaging intervals. So usually with your cold email marketing software, you will set, I want 50 messages to go out every single hour, or 10 messages to go out every single hour, or whatever the stat may be. Your software should know what the appropriate intervals are to send to get past Google's algorithms, because Google and Gmail are trying to stop people obviously abusing Gmail too much. So they're definitely going to take note if you're just sort of firing out 1,000 emails every minute. That's going to get flagged up as spam on the other end when you're trying to get into someone's inbox, and Gmail's going to label you as an untrustworthy sender. So what you want to be doing is sending a message once every couple minutes in the sort of normal human bounds, and you want to vary that interval. So once it's 2 minutes, the next time it waits 3 minutes, the next time it waits 1 minute, so it looks like normal human behavior. And so this is going to trick everyone into thinking you're a human, and as long as you're sending messages at a reasonable rate, like a couple hundred a day, 300 a day, you're going to stay completely under the radar. If you want to send more emails than this, just set up new email accounts and buy new software for each of those email accounts, and each one you can double up the number of emails you send. Don't send 1 million a month from one email address. It's just a quick road of getting banned. The other bit of software you might want to tack on is some CRM integrations. So you need to sort out a way that any of your positive responses that come back get sent directly to your CRM. And then this is going to help you with your lead management, and also your marketing automation can kick in thereafter. If someone's come back as a positive lead, even if the conversation goes nowhere ultimately, you do want to be nurturing them because they might be back in the market later. So it's really important to tie your cold email leads into your sort of warm email newsletter remarketing. And the final thing I'll say about the software is be careful about the software's promises. It doesn't always do what it says on the tin. For instance, there's certain software that when you get a response, if it goes into your spam filter, because the person that sent the response has an untrustworthy domain, your software may not actually pick up that they were a response and therefore should be removed from further communication. And so you could get into this situation where someone's in your spam inbox and you're messaging them every week, hey, did you see my message? All of your follow-ups, and they've actually replied several times asking you to stop. But because it's in your spam, your software does not recognize that as a response and to shut down the future follow-up emails. So do check your spam inbox very, 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 very regularly. That's all I would say, because that's where I see a lot of people slip up on the sort of technical side. Right, so now that we've got our email list and we've got our software nice and set up, ready to send out a good sort of natural amount of emails, trick everyone into thinking it's human, now we just need to work out what we're going to say to people in messaging. So I'm going to give you a few quick tips here. The first is, do not include any links or imagery in the body of your email. That's a big no-no. Any links or imagery just adds to your spam score, because you might be sending all sorts of unsultry things to people by email. Any normal cold approach is supposed to just be black and white text message. It's not like a newsletter. Nobody's opted into anything here. Any amount of images and stuff is going to be seen as spam from Gmail's point of view, from other email clients' point of view. I also don't want you to use certain trigger keywords. So if you use the percentage symbol, if you use buy now, if you use order now, saving, save money, 50% off, anything that's very commercial in either your subject or body, these words will actually trigger Gmail into marking you as spam, because it can tell if you're emailing people saying save this money or whatever, that you probably don't know who the person is and you're trying to sell something. So definitely research what those list of trigger keywords are, but don't use them in your email or body. In terms of the subject line in the first email, you will see when you receive most email addresses, whether you're using Gmail or Outlook, not only do you see the subject line of the email that's being sent to you, you also see a kind of snippet of the first line of the email. So you don't want to reveal your cards too early. If you want to get high open rates on your cold emails, make your subject line and your first line of your email rather cryptic. And what I mean is just saying something like, so for instance, I might say, the leads you've generated so far, ... as my subject line, or the leads you've generated so far, or this month, the leads you generated this month, full stop. And my subject line needs to not say, hey, I'm Larry from the Brains, we've never spoken to each other, because then the person will be able to read that on the email inbox and know it's cold email. Whereas the subject line is good. The person might say, what is this, my marketing agency? Is this somebody talking to me about the leads that I could be generating? Is this somebody that I'm actually working with right now? Maybe the company's big enough that you might not know that. So you want to keep that mystique going in that first line as well. just so that someone is intrigued enough to open the email. And of course, after the second line, you'll get into what you're about. Keep your entire message length down to 10 lines. People are not going to read, My Fair Lady, like the prose that you're going to send to them. 10 lines, keep it really short, and have a clear call to action at the end for a phone call. Do not, and I repeat, do not include calendar links to book a time in your diary. People are completely switched off by that. It looks very impersonal. You need to just, unfortunately, do the back and forth of, can you speak on Wednesday at 2? Oh no, I'm taking my son to piano lessons. No, let's do Thursday. You're going to have to do that. It seems much more genuine. And so that's it. That's my wrap. You now have a way that you can get a high quality email list without paying a list broker. You now know what software you can use to naturally look like a human and actually not hit spam filters. And number 3, you have some great tips on what you should be saying in your cold email marketing messaging. I hope I've managed to keep that under 15 minutes. If I haven't, you can just give me a thumbs down. If I have, give me a thumbs up. Fantastic to have anyone new to this. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Give me a subs if you loved it. There's going to be much more videos coming in the future about practical things like this to do with cold email marketing, lead generation, LinkedIn advertising, Facebook advertising. So stay tuned, and I'll see you for the next video. Take care. Bye.